Hi, this is Scott from This and That. I just wanted to talk today about something that has been, let's say, gnawing at me. I think I've mentioned in the past that I've lived in a place before this, which I'll even say the name now, which I usually don't do. It's called Mersta. It's M-A with dots R-S-T-A. It's the place that I lived in before, which the whole organization was owned by the mafia, the Bulgarian mafia. They already tried to get money out of me, and now they're trying again. They're coming after me again, and it's such a joke. I have a ton of evidence against them of all the crap that they did. So even if they ever came back again, I wouldn't have any problem. I've also got, legal insurance. The washing machine didn't work. It went every couple seconds, and finally, that was back in the very beginning that happened, and then the maintenance guys would still come at that point, and then they found out that they didn't take something out again because of the installation. But the point is that there were cracks all over the place in the walls. This is a brand new apartment, okay? Brand new apartment. There were cracks all over the place. There was stuff that wasn't installed. They promised they would put an internet cable in the next to my desk. That was never done. There's so many promises they didn't keep. But now I know why, because they're owned by the Bulgarian mafia. And that's also why they're probably trying to squeeze money out of me. It's like squeezing money out of a rock right now, because they don't even have enough money to eat the rest of the month practically. It's an absurd situation right now. It really is. It's an absolutely absurd situation right now. The name of the company, by the way, that was owned by the Bulgarian mafia is nordicpm. So if you ever want to rent an apartment or buy a house, I'm not sure if they do both, I'm not sure, but in any case, stay clear of nordicpm. I'm not kidding, it's a terrible, terrible company. I called them so many times, they never got any answer. I wrote so many emails, never got any answer. But now it's clear why. It's also clear why the person that showed me the apartment quit about 2 weeks after she showed me the apartment, because she probably found out the truth. Well, anyway, all I want to say is that I will be leaving Sweden quite soon now. Maybe I'll put this on my home is Sweden. I mean, I thought about creating a new domain called My Home Was Sweden, but no, I think I might put it up there. I'll see. Either this or that, or My Home is Sweden. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, I have to think about that one, but in any case, don't ever, ever, ever touch nordicpm with a 10-foot pole. Really. It's that bad. It's really that bad. And I've mentioned before, maybe you haven't seen the videos, that even one of the top politicians in Sweden was shown to be connected with the mafia. So Sweden is not the white snow and long blonde hair girls that are all beautiful, and in fact a lot of them are very obese right now. Everything's changed because of the McDonald's factor, I guess. But the picture of Sweden is not what I had before I came here. I still think Stockholm is probably one of the most beautiful cities I've ever been in, though. That's really an amazingly beautiful city. I absolutely miss going to Stockholm now. I can't go anymore, but man, it's a beautiful, beautiful city, so I can highly recommend visiting it, especially to see all the water around it and all the beautiful old buildings, especially at an island called Gamla, which means Old Town. I highly recommend going to Gamla if you ever come to visit Sweden, within Stockholm. But if you happen to be, let's say, of the Jewish persuasion, then you may not want to go too far in the area that's called, what is it called again? The Diplomatenstaten. This is a place where they have all the embassies. I walked by the Israeli embassy, and they almost arrested me just for looking at it. I mean, it's extremely tight around the Israeli embassy there, which I think I know why. I mean, Israel's in bed with the United States. I know that there's no question about that, but Israel is also going after all the Palestinians. In fact, the Palestinians, I saw them actually protesting the Israelis when I was there in Stockholm. They were walking down the street protesting the Israeli government. But that's not the point here. The real point is that I've just had it with Sweden now, whether it's because of what happened with the previous landlord, but I've also done previous videos about Sweden, which is a country which should be totally used to winter. I did a video already on Sweden as my home that said, you know, something like a catastrophe of the first day of winter, but the point was, I just really briefly, I'll say it, I went to the place where I had to take the train, and then they said, I went into the train, and then they said, oh, the train can't go anyplace, go over to the buses over there. So I went over to the buses. When I got over to the buses, they said, no, we're not going to go, you have to go over to the train. And needless to say, I went back and forth about 5 times, and then finally the train left. But the point is, it's a country that has snow every year. And I've heard this from other Swedes as well. They just they're not prepared for the winter, even though it's a winter country. Even when I got my original pass to live here, I had to walk through, and that's the other thing about Sweden. They don't clean up during winter. The sidewalks are still covered with everything. When I had to go to get my initial pass to live here, I was walking down this sidewalk, and there were like these 6-foot deep puddles and slush and everything. I had to walk through all this stuff just to get to that place. To make matters worse, when I got there, they said I didn't have an appointment, so I had to go all the way back again. But that's not the main point here. The main point is that Sweden is not as perfect as it looks. That's all I want to say. It's not as clean as it looks. It really isn't. The mafia is involved here. They don't do a very good job cleaning up after winter themselves, being from this country. Well, that's all I can say about, I'm looking very much forward to move out of Sweden because of those things now. Thanks for watching, and I don't know if I'm going to put it up on this and that or Sweden is my home, but I will definitely put it up today. I can guarantee that. Thank you for watching, and all the best, and I hope your living situation is much better than mine was in the last place. Where I am now is great.